Many are the mysteries concerning the universe and the Ankh life that is found within it. This is also true regarding the theories, laws that govern them. Who am I? Where do I come from? Why am I here? And where am I going? All the known and unknown forces of the universe are of one origin. Necessity becomes the order by which these forces reveal themselves. Existence demands that energy be spent. Existence is realized by the expansion of energy that must have a source. In the case of our universe, Ankh, life is always associated to heat and movement, but the energy that drives the entire universe is of the direct result of the self-creation of Ra Nebuchadnezzar Ra, radiation, which produces the anomaly of attraction and repulsion along with the phenomenon of heat and movement. Dua'u, Anuk Patal Sikasar. My name is Patal Sikasar. I'm the Royal Scribe, Master Craftsman, and Keeper of Time of Tesha Para. I'm here to bring forth immortality to my brother, Herbert M. Williams, also known as Blade, and we'll get into that later on with the happy side. But right now, I want to show him right the path to immortality. The following shall be said by a person when they enter into the halls of double right and double truth, where the soul is purged of all sin. We will see the faces of all the Netheru, the gods and goddesses, and pronounce the Usa Medu Nefer Heka'u, the divine words of power. Anuk Abet Kweb, Anuk Abet Kweb, I am pure, Anuk Pertotep, Anuk Pertotep, I come in peace, I come in peace. May he be granted, may he be led forward by Heru into the presence of Asa, Nefer Kentiameti. May he be given a place to stay in Sekhet Hetep, the field of peace. May he be granted passage aboard the boat, aboard the Majet boat, the boat of billions and billions of years, to be reborn, Ranu, as a star, expanding with the universe forever and ever. O Ra Nebuchadnezzar Ra, I am he, she, who existed in the primeval oceans of nothingness, eons and eons of evolutions ago, before the beginnings of time. When I thought that the moment had come, I fashioned my mouth and I uttered my name as a word of power. With this power that was my birthright, I fashioned myself in forms from out of the primeval ocean of nothingness. I was alone at this time. There were none others with me then. I am the beginnings of time which began when I took form and commanded the power. Now it came to pass that I found no place upon which I could stand. So I straightway brought forth from my own mind and thoughts the primeval mound from out of the primeval ocean of nothingness. Being that I was alone at this time, it pleased me to make others. So I went from being Netchet 1 to Netchet 3. I made these beings in the manner in which all things are made. I, Ra, Nebuchadnezzar Ra, the he, the she, the mother and father of all existence, I embraced my shadow and I grasped my member and I loved myself. I issued forth the Netchet Shu and I multiplied its forms millions and millions of times. I gathered a portion of the remains and I swallowed them and I spat forth Tefnut. They are my heart and soul, twins born of the same birth. Where you find the one, you find the three, for the three is of the one and the one is of the three. Shu and Tefnut had union and gave birth to Seb, the earth, and Nut, the sky. And in similar manner, I multiplied their forms millions and millions of times. Seb and Nut had union and gave birth to the earth Netcherus, the earth gods and goddesses, the first ancestors. Their names are Heru Asa, Sut, As, and Nebhet. Heru, Asa and As gave birth to Heru, and Heru and Het-Heru gave birth to the Shemsu Herus, the four children of Heru, and their names are Mester, Hapi, Tuamutep, and Quebsonut. And when all this was done, and all manner of things that came into being, I placed each and every black hole, star, constellation, sun, moon, asteroid that I now found, and together their movements give meaning to my works, and their movement is no drain on my powers. It is I, Ra-Nefer-Teshuvah, who issue forth the order of existence. There is an order that applies to all things. This order is called the order of existence. It was issued by the creator of all things, Ra-Nefer-Teshuvah, to ensure the continuous perpetual evolutions of all things. So when I speak to you today of the new age order of the great golden age of Ma'at Asa, and the new age order star gospel of the self-creation of Ra-Nefer-Teshuvah, it is of this order that I speak. In the beginning, there is energy, Ner, and its name is Nu, the primeval ocean of nothingness, dark energy, oblivion, the cosmological constant. In the end, there is energy, Ner. Its name also is Nu, primordial ocean of nothingness, dark energy, cosmological constant, oblivion. Life is derived from power, and power is the result of energy. Ex-electron, or Ra-Nefer-Teshuvah, after releasing, freeing, escaping, or discharging from oblivion, became a source of power. But because this power was dissipating, form and shape was necessary for containment, and the feeling of weightlessness then must be overcome. By the controlled emissions of waves and rays of magnetic subatomic particles in all directions after taking shape, these two basic needs were met. This is the origins of subatomic space. This is our story of the self-creation of Ra-Nefer-Teshuvah. Energy that was lost and now being spent was in need of replacement. This created hunger and the need for replenishment. All the energy was now being dispersed outwardly, allowing form and shape into the newly formed egg, until it was forced to expand beyond itself. This created a great explosion that hurled shell bits of magnetic subatomic particles in all directions, expanding the void of deep, dark, cold space as they traveled, until finally reaching the pause of magnetic repulsion, where they experienced gravity and collapsed upon each other, producing gamma orbs. Another explosion occurs. A ring of gamma now surrounds the primeval germ. It allows the recycling of energy inwards and the replenishing of itself. Some of this energy that was not absorbed inwards was released outwards beyond the gamma rings as bits of pure antimatter, and upon embracing interference, developed in the region we call the nursery of the stars as dark body radiation, black holes, or galaxies. These dark body radiations, black holes, and galaxies are pushed away from the innerverse and are the realization of the outerverse. These dark body radiation, black holes, or galaxies produce atomic energy, light, stars, planet, moons, and life forms, until all the above-mentioned energy once again into oblivion. These forces will adjust, propel, and expand the continuous perpetual evolution of the expanding universe. This is our story of universal dualism. The two key players are radiation and light. Within the universe, these two supply it with heat and movement. Radiation and light are the forces that allow uniform expansion and are the reasons why the universe is expanding. Without an understanding of these two forces, the universe is without explanation. They are mirrored images of each other, different only in their limitations. And from these two forces comes the laws of universal dualism. We're here to celebrate the life and times of my brother, Herbert Mark Williams, Jr. So I shall continue in this celebration and jubilation of his being born right new as a star. This is not the end, this is the beginning. The end of one thing is the beginning of another. This is part of our African cultural, cosmic, collective consciousness, spirituality. So I'm here to bring forth our story for the first time to the family. So maybe it might go over someone's head right now, but eventually you catch the replay in the midst of your travels, east, west, north, south, hither and thither. Know you that this is the Perth Emeru, Panebu, the chapter of coming forth by day every, and knowing the continuous perpetual evolutions of Ra Never Teshara. So right now it's such a joyful time because this is the 359th day of the year. Everybody didn't understand this mathematical equation that just went by. Meaning there's one day left, meaning our Earth has just made 360 days around the sun. And on the next day is 360, which makes it a year. This is the aging process, scientific, mathematical. This is spookism. Our story is not spookism. Our story has sacred science, divine math, and our cultural, cosmic, collective conscious spirituality. It has astrology and astronomy that has absolute accountability and star validation. All right, so that everybody knows this is the spookism here. Okay? You can Google this, some of this. You can Google this in his story, but they can only go so far back. They can't go into our story, because all history is our story, corrupted, fragmented, and plagiarized and regurgitated back to us.
That's right.
So I shall begin to let you know, just celebrating the life and times of my brother, my elder brother, Herbert, and this is his time. This is the best of time, it was the worst of time. But what is time? So that we all be on the same level playing field here. I want everybody to feel this. What is time? Time is the movement or measurement of the light through the void of deep, dark, cold space from one point or distance to another. Speed, 186,000 miles per second. Light is the absence of darkness, and darkness is the absence of light. Light is the giver of life, Ankh, to all things on the terrestrial plane within the atomic domain. Life is the consciousness and awareness of being. Life is the generic expression of the light, and it's only found in three forms exclusively: solids, liquids, and gases. Matter, the elements, the nature, the netarus, the gods and goddesses. However, light, atomic energy, the hydrogen atom, Kepler, the expanding universe, is not the origins of existence and the creation and development of the universe. The light has a mirrored reflection, which is radiation, subatomic, Ra Never Teshara, the primeval germ of existence. So to understand the story and the journey of my brother at this particular time, you have to understand the concept of time. So we know that we have to break it down scientifically, mathematically, and with our cultural, cosmic, collective conscious spirituality, or we're just robots. We're just Greeks and Romans. Okay, we must have our African cultural, cosmic, collective conscious spirituality. So there's 360 days of the year. Today's the 359th day. That means that tomorrow will be the 360th day. And on this day, the time of Earth was 24 hours and 35 minutes. But today, the hours are 24 hours long. There's only 24 hours in one day. But originally, there was 24 hours and 35 minutes. So what happened is, and when the Earth Natchers were born, our first ancestors, Ra and Jehuti waged for this time. And when Jehuti won the time, he won that 35 minutes. He took the 35 minutes and multiplied it 360 times. He came up with 5¼ days. These were the days the earth message was born. This is all part of our cultural conscious spirituality, so that you can find your path back to that heartbeat, so that when you wake up, you will know it's not like, why am I here? Who am I? Why am I here? Where am I going? These are age-old questions. That they came to Africa to steal. They stole it from us and they took it. So when you understand time, and you know these 5 children, we know that this 5 children came from Newt, the sky, and Seth, the earth. In our cultural spirituality, we say, well, how can that happen? That's spookism. But scientifically speaking, the only thing that's separating the sky from the earth is light. Because when the sun comes up, you see the sky. But when the sun sets, where'd the sky go? You see stars now, where'd the sky go? Can anybody explain it? They can't explain it. But in the morning, sky's up there again. Well, this is the perpetual movement as the sky and the earth are making love. And eventually, they had to have children. But Ra said there was no room for it because the 6 forms of life were already there: plant, insects, reptiles, water creatures, and birds that fly. So, the 7th form is man and woman. Their time was not allotted for us to be here. Enter Jehuti, who won the 35 minutes of time that's left over after every 24-hour daily cycle, which is 24 hours and 35 minutes, because the 35 minutes was split between the Duat and the Twat, which is sunrise and sunset respectively. Just want to break this down so that everybody understands this is not spookism. Okay? You're able to applicate this in your daily life. If you can't go outside, and you cannot go outside and talk to the sun, you can't talk to the air, you can't talk to the moon, and you can't communicate with the trees and the lakes and everything else. You're not in tune with this, then what are you in tune with? Some invisible something? I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to keep this on a very spiritual basis right now.
All right.
Because everybody has their own belief, so I'm just going to bring forth the cosmic breath. And you make your own decision. And I don't want, okay? So, I got you here now. I got you here, because he's on the travel, he's on the voyage. He's on the voyage now. He's moving. Motion is a requirement in the separating of the collective energy contained within the motionless cold void, such as Nu, the primary motion, nothingness, dark energy, oblivion, or the cosmological constant. I only say these 5 things because these are all different trends of thoughts. You got the scientist, you got the mathematician, you got the archaeologist, the anthropologist. They all got the schools of thought. So I'm only saying, but I'm only talking about the all of alls. And we know that energy that is collected, absorbed, and then stored must be released. So it's continuous movement. Remember, we're talking heat and movement, light and radiation. These are the forces of universal dualism. So let's get back to our spirituality. Connect these puzzles, because I want you to, I know everybody didn't come here to get the mind to go cosmic, and I'm going to go cosmic. Apologize, but we're going to go cosmic.
Slow down on the people. Slow down on the people.
I'll make y'all think.
Yeah. Slow down on the people.
I want y'all to know anybody here is Romans and Greeks.
Yeah, they not
You already got the pathogen out there that's going to take you out every day.
They ain't ready for them.
Okay, so y'all better get hooked up to this frequency. It's a frequency. Everything is a frequency, it's a sound. The Creator, at the beginning of existence, spoke His name. Like in the Bible, they got that. They broke it down. He spoke His name. In the beginning, there was the Word and there was the light. There's too much stuff going on. You gotta break this stuff down. So the Creator did speak His name. And in Medu Netta, which is our ancient Sanskrit, our ancient etymology, or our Sanskrit by writing, Medu is the name is the mouth with the water sign. It's RN, is Ren, means name, but you turn it upside, you gotta reverse it, and you got NR, which means energy. So now it starts to make sense. So you have to learn your own language. Once you begin to learn the Medu Netta, you're able to applicate this. So you know His name is what He spoke, and His name was energy. And the energy became a sound, and the sound became a wave, and the wave became a frequency, and it's a perturbation. And this is the beginning of the origins of existence, the creation of the universe. Anyway, let me get back to this journey. We connect the journey to my brother here. So we know that Asa and As had a child named Heru. And Heru had 4 children. So what we do, from Heru and Heru had 4 children, which are the Shemsuru. So who am I? I am a Shemsuru. Where do I come from? I come from the direct issue of Ra Nebuchadnezzar. Why am I here? I am here to acquire the ability to experience the phenomenon of being. Where am I going? I'm going to be Ra-born, Ra-nu, as a star, expanding with the universe forever and ever. So here we go. So we trace it back to our spirituality first. The four children of Heru came from Heru and Heteru, who came from Asar and As, who came from Seb, the earth, and Nut, the sky, who came from Shu and Tefnut, which is solids, liquids, and gases, beginning of matter, development of the universe. And they came from the direct issue of Ra Nebuchadnezzar. And then we could break it down mathematically, we go scientifically. But I just wanted everybody to know that my brother was dearly loved. He was dearly loved. And I heard a couple of sparks back there. I didn't want nobody's brain to not come back from this sermon here. But 1 second, please. We are here for my brother Herbert Williams. Let me read the eulogy. Sunrise, May 18th, 1953. Sunset, July 10th, 2020. Herbert M. Williams Jr., affectionately known as Herbie or Blade, was born on May 18, 1953, to Herbert M. Williams Sr. and Margaret Victoria Hawkins Wallace, wasn't there, Williams, both deceased. Herbie's sunset on July 10, 2020. Herbert graduated from James P. Timothy School in Jamaica Plain High School. Herbert, an entrepreneur who enjoyed working with his hands, became a self-employed carpenter. His creativity did not stop there. He also enjoyed creating magic with his music as a disc jockey while dabbling in singing. To know Herbie was to know that he was a prolific sports buff. He could chat it up with the best of them. Herbert is survived by his daughter, Leslie Wright, his sister, Edith Wallace Matthews, and 4 brothers, Richard B. Wallace, Alden Deloyd Wallace, Dana R. Williams, also known as Patal Shikasar. You know what your mother named you, boy. And Edward Williams.
I'm not in.
He was deceased by 2 brothers, Wendell T. Wallace, Spunky, and Leroy Mecca Abdul Wallace. In addition, Uncle Herbie leaves a host of nieces and nephews and other loving family members. And that is the chapter from the chapter of the book of Coming Forth by Day, which I've already recited. So if anyone else would like to come up about now and share their feelings for Brother Herbie, some of their experiences, I remember, I don't want to be the one, I don't try to hog the stage up here. Say, stop, grab a seat. So
No, you gave a lot of knowledge, that.
But if I'm not grabbing the seat,
A lot of
no one's
people
coming
get
up.
a lot of understanding about a lot of things about people who don't know
I
about.
didn't want there to be no dead air time. Because I'm a radio personality too. I don't like dead air time. But my brother Herbie was the man. Taught me all my sports, showed me how to dribble the basketball and everything and so on and so forth. Herbie was the dancer. Herbie could take a potty he could two-step you right out your shoes. So I just wanted to thank everybody for coming. Yes, you can. Thank you very much, Nephew Leroy.
Yes, sir. I just like to say that I just seen Uncle Herbie last Thursday, and he done shrunk real quick, and we all in here is getting old, and we all don't know how we gonna look, and we got to be careful living. We don't even know now. I mean, things are getting hard out here for all of us out in here. And just looking at his body from seeing him last week and just saying, wow, this stuff ain't no joke. Everybody just watch everything around you. That's the best I can say, to the best of your ability, Wish everybody well.
I'm like, that sounds good.
Yes, one. Leave one for me. Yes, yes, yes.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
I went to school with Herbie at the James P. Timothy, and we parted ways for a while, but when we got back together, it was a magical thing because everything we did together. You know, we started drinking together and doing all that craziness. You know, we started shooting pool together from the time when he was 7 at the boys' club. That's all we did was shoot pool and play basketball. All that. And then, coming back around full circle, we started again. We got into the pool league. Him and I were going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He swore he could beat me. I told him he can't. He kept trying. He won some, I won a lot. Alright? But that was my bud. I would walk from my house to his house, and then we go around Mattapan Square. Sometimes a dog with me. You know, we sit in the park down by Mattapan Square. We sit up there, have a few shots, talk shop, you know. Then he just started getting a little wobbly. I'm like, okay, it's time to ease up. He like, no, I gotta go. But everywhere he went, I was always behind him. I was always tapping him on the shoulder. What are you doing? Let's do this. No, let's do this. I'm like, come on, man, you got to follow me. I can't be following you because you do stupid things. Right? And he would listen. But then after he had that third one, it's like, okay, it's my show or no show. So I was like, okay, we'll do it your way. Then, once we got into real deep with that pool thing, man, it was on and popping. He was always still trying to beat me. I'm like, will you stop trying to beat me and beat him? Right? He wouldn't listen. I said, come on, let's go. Let's do it this way. And he'd get pissed. And he'd slam down the stick. I said, see, now you're defeating the purpose. Get up, let's do this again. The next day, he'd be knocking on my door. Jimmy, what the hell did I do? I said, you didn't listen. You wasn't paying attention. You were so far into you that you forgot about them. We're trying to get trophies, get money. Let's get the money. Okay, I'll get the money. You just sit back and relax. And then when we get the money, he'd act a fool. I'm still the best in the team. I'm the #1 shot shooter around here. I'm like, okay, you can have that title, but we all know who's who. We go to a couple of cookouts. You know, I met a lot of his nephews, and you know, we just had fun. Just had fun. It was a beautiful thing. I'm gonna miss him. I haven't seen him in a year. Oh, well, 2 years since I moved to Lynn. But we try to keep in touch here and there. And after our friend Thurston died, everything started falling apart. So it is what it is, but that's still my best bud. Now, I'm alone on this pool journey. I'm still doing it. because I'm still the top dog. That's right, my world.
Yep.
Okay. But now I'm doing it in ring. And I got a lot of competition, but I'm having fun doing
And he's gonna be with you.
it. Every time I shoot, I say, I'm gonna do this. I told you.
And he's gonna be right there with you. Yep.
I told you. Stick with me. I told you.
Yep.
He didn't want to go up. He just wanted to be him.
Mhm.
So, he was him until now. But he's still my friend and will always be in my heart.
That's right.
Always.
That's right, Uncle Jimmy. Yep.
Come on now, I know these family members love my brother Herbie. Where's my family members? Want to come up here and say something for me? Come on, oh, big brother Edward.
Big brother.
Oh,
Okay. Uncle Eddie.
And we decided to love our faithful brother because he is the man that presented himself to us,
Amen.
made this world live, and we live with him and made this world live. He did the best he can about doing what he do for anybody, about what they say or they could do for themselves. Because he is what we prefer as somebody who could let us do something for us, do something for us, do something for us, do something for ourselves. He has presented that fact of what that's we want to do. He can do something for us. He said he can do something for us as the man and might present himself to us as doing something for us. My brother Mims was great for that. Remember him for that. And as far as I'm concerned, send love from the dog.
All right, Uncle Eddie. Yeah. All right, man.
I'm dropping the mic.
I just ever say anything about anything, just to the crowd.
You get it done.
Uh-oh.
I got brother Richard. Man, I love you.
Uh-oh.
How you doing? My name is
Yeah.
Osiris Guru Masura. And so people said, I thought your name is Richard B. Wallace. I said, yeah, that's my Christian name. My real name, an African name, is Osiris Guru Masura. Ra means life. Life for everybody. Matter is light. It's energy, it's light. Can never be destroyed. It's always here, somewhere. Where is that? Oblivion. From oblivion do we come, and to oblivion do we go. The energy